Investing equal amounts of time and effort into all your projects and tasks isn't feasible. Instead, if you think ahead and prioritize only what's important, you will find yourself achieving the wins you need.
You rock, my friends. You Rock podcast is for women like you who want to own your life and live an engaged and joyful life. Hosted by Dr. Aliyah Majid, mom of 3, devoted wife, and a scientist turned life coach on a mission to empower women to take control of their lives. In this podcast, we deliver tools, insights, and inspiration on rocking your own life, owning to your highest potential, and becoming the best version of you. Now, here's your host, Dr. Aliyah Majid.
But before that, make sure you click the subscribe button below to be able to receive updates whenever my new episode is out. Hi, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to You Rock Podcast. And this week, we'll be discussing on prioritizing. For example, if you have 10 tasks in your to-do list right now, 20% of them, just identify the 20% of your tasks that will reaps the results that you wanted. Invest your time and energy in the 20% of the tasks that give you the 80% of the result that you wanted. This is the basic principle that have been taught by Pareto regarding productivity. The key principles of prioritization is that our priority might shift and demand action. Therefore, you have to periodically prioritize your project, maybe weekly, monthly, or yearly, and adjust their order depending on the current level of importance and urgency. Some things are just not that important. Avoid focusing too much of your time on those things. If you haven't yet already, you can download the task audit from the show notes below. Download it. And this will help you to quickly audit your tasks, which are the important ones, which tasks that are purposeful to you, and productive tasks that you should be focusing on instead of tasks that is draining your energy and also not moving you towards the goal that you have in your life. You can have it all, but not doing it all at the same time. You have to know exactly what you want right now and work for it. Avoid committing too many priorities that demand too much of your time. If you haven't yet already, click the follow button and the subscribe button to the podcast. If you are new here or if you are a loyal listener, do me a favor and share this episode to your friends and help this channel grow. Okay, so let's continue on prioritization. There's an idea about prioritizing your day around your energy levels. As you have probably experienced, your energy levels over the course of the day is not constant. They fluctuate according to when your body is programmed to have the most energy. For example, if you happen to be an early bird or a night owl. And it also depends whether or not you exercise, what you eat, and whether or not you get enough sleep. Like energy levels, your focus and productivity are not consistent either. You're the most productive when you dedicate your energy-rich moments to your most complex, meaningful tasks. According to Chris Bailey, the author of The Productivity Project, you can be more hyper-focused and be more productive and effective during your peak energy times, which is called this time the biological prime time, BPT, and the precise times differ for everyone. By charting your energy levels for a week or two, you'll be able to identify your own patterns. The more productive tasks you do during your biological prime time, the more productive you become. In the contrary, when your focus are scattered, this is the most powerful time, which is when you have the least energy, and your brain is less inhibited during these periods and doesn't hold back ideas it generates. And this is the best time for you to create. There's some research that shows that during this time, you can be more creative and solve creative problems. when you connect the greatest numbers of ideas, where you have this energy, which is called the creative prime time. This is different from everyone. Even for me, I think this changes depending on the season that I'm in, whether or not my kids breastfeeding and I don't have enough sleep. Usually, if that happens, sometimes I am a little bit more, I can say, irritated in the morning because I feel I have to slowly wake up, even though I do wake up early, but I don't feel like I can give my full attention. I haven't been sleeping really well. These are the times that I use to create things because during this time, the idea that I have on my mind started to connect and making a sense of whatever things I'm learning and generates new idea. So this is the best time for me to create, maybe writing or maybe do any creative works of that matter. However, later in the evening around 2 p.m., I found that I can focus better on solving analytical problems, such as when I'm doing engineering problems and mathematical problems, when I'm lecturing. These are the times where I do the preparation for the classes, usually around 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. because this is the window that I feel like I can focus more effectively. I think this is my biological prime time. I have learned this about myself because I tried when is the time that a certain task is done much better than the other. And why does this happen? I started to know that these are the different types of tasks. In my work, I have tasks that needs me to analyze, and I have tasks that needs me to create. Like a client, a great way to work smarter is to schedule tasks that require focused attention during your biological prime time and tasks that require more creativity during creative prime time. Block time for these tasks in your calendar to know which kind of task you have to perform. You also need to know what the task that is in front of you and be aware of the types of tasks that's available. According to Chris Bailey, there are 4 types of tasks. In so many ways, your attention is like choosing what to watch on Netflix. If you like a certain program, sitcoms or dramas, then you'll notice that the Netflix algorithm will suggest more of the similar genre. When you first launch Netflix, don't know anything about you yet. They will just present whatever that is on highlight, whatever that is new, whatever that is popular around Malaysia, what other people are watching right now. If that's your first time watching Netflix, the highlight would be what are the other people are watching. From that highlight, maybe you choose one from that. And then the Netflix will learn the more that you choose a certain dramas or any sitcom movie, the algorithm will understand you better and give suggestions that will lead you to the path of you be more fulfilled in watching the suggestions that they give. In order for us to redirect our attention, it's also just like trying to reprogram the Netflix algorithm. We have to decide where is the direction that we want to give our attention in order for you to find new stories, find other kind of genres that you want to watch. Before this, you like to watch Bridgerton. And now you feel like enough is enough, you want to learn something new. What kind of thing that might be more useful for you to watch right now and more relaxing and maybe would be more joyful for you to watch? Maybe you might choose sitcoms like the Friends episodes. Or maybe you would like to travel to other country and learn about other countries more. To start to redirect your attention to other places, you have to be consciously aware of that. Where do you put your attention to? Switching off the autopilot mode is so critical. Why? Because the most urgent and stimulating things in your environment, they are rarely the most significant. Directing your attention toward the most important object of your choosing and then sustaining that attention is the most consequential decision you will make throughout the day. We are what we pay our attention to. To make these things a bit more clear for you, it is easier for you to divide your tasks into these 4 categories. You can download the task audit list from the link below and use the grid that I'm mentioning, or you can simply just use a piece of paper and divide the paper into 4 sections. And on the top left side, you write unattractive, and the top right side, you write attractive, and left top is productive tip, and on the bottom left would be unproductive. So these are the 4 types of tasks. The first quadrant is the necessary work. The second one is unnecessary work. The third would be distracting work. And fourth would be purposeful work. I really want you guys to be more clearer on this. Pause this podcast a little while and download the productivity planner that I have in the link below. And inside that planner, you have this task audit grid. And you can use that to quickly analyze your tasks that you have in hand right now, and to really understand which of your tasks are purposeful work and productive work. The way to do it is now list down first in a piece of paper all the tasks that you need to do any time of the month, any time of the week, day, all of your responsibilities. Just write it down. Necessary work includes tasks that are unattractive yet productive. These are like meetings and financial updates and things like that, that it is quite an unattractive task, but it is a productive task and you need to do it. And usually you have to put yourself to do this type of work. And the second one, unnecessary work. And this includes the tasks that are both unproductive and unattractive. This is rearranging the papers on your desk or the files on your computer. And we usually don't bother with this kind of tasks unless we're procrastinating on doing something else or resisting tasks. Let me be honest, sometimes when I feel like I'm procrastinating because I'm working at home, sometimes what I'm doing is I just spend time and rearranging my clothes in the clothes rack. Yes, that's the truth. So it happens sometimes when you want to do purposeful work but you are resisting it, you start to really care about things that actually doesn't matter. And this spending time on unnecessary work tasks, it keeps us busy. But this busyness is just an active form of laziness when it doesn't really lead to actually accomplishing anything. Before we continue, maybe you are hearing the noise, and actually my baby 2-year-old is here, and this is the eight of him having chickenpox, but he is actually better now. My husband is taking care of him. Right now, we are like rotating working time so that we can look after him. So for a while now, I'm focusing on producing this episode for you guys. So if you are hearing that cry at the back, don't worry. He is okay. He is now. He just wants his bottle right now. Okay, so the next kind of work is distracting work, and this includes stimulating unproductive tasks such as the usual culprit, which includes social media, WhatsApp conversation, news, websites, and chat, and every other form of low return distraction. These activities can be fun, but should generally be indulged in small doses. The better you become at managing your attention, the less time you'll spend in this quadrant. And then the remaining of the box is where your purposeful work counts. This is the productivity sweet spot. And these are the tasks that we are put on earth to do, the tasks we most engage in as we do them. And these tasks we makes the largest impact in the world. And to be honest, a very small task that fits into this box. And most people that I respected, I aspired, didn't have just 3 or 4 at most that fits into this category. Doing good work in this category usually requires more brain power, and we are often better at these types of tasks than other people are. An example of what kind of task that fits into this category: if you are a researcher, your most important tasks might be including designing and running studies and teaching and maybe applying for fundings. This task fits into the purposeful work. You do this much more better than other people. This gives the largest impact in your work. And this is the productivity sweet spot for you. And for me, for example, as a coach, my most important tasks are writing articles, blog articles, newsletters, and reading research to encounter new ideas on productivity, on high performance habits, and also coaching and giving talks. So these are my most important tasks. These only 4 of them that fits into this category. In your personal life, you might have also your purposeful tasks that might include spending time with your kids, and maybe if you have a side hustle that you would like to build, or you are volunteering with a charity and an NGO, these are the tasks that you put in your purposeful work. A productive person would focus on only the top 2 quadrants of the above agreed. Focus on the purposeful work and the necessary work, or we call it the productive work. And think about how you can prioritize your day by first audit what kind of tasks that you have in hand first, and really recognizing where does this fit into your life. This simple activity will give you an incredible awareness of what's actually important in your work. This grid is where you can refer to over and over again whenever you are feeling overwhelmed, when you are feeling stuck, and when you are busy and you thought that there are so many things to do. But now, when you have already been aware of what's your purposeful work, what's your necessary work, focusing on all these 2 productive tasks actually will yield better reward. And think also about what are the first consequence of you focusing on these 2 quadrants of your productive tasks, and also what are the second consequences, and what are the third consequences of you really focusing on these 2. If you are focusing on the bottom 2 quadrant directly, that the first consequence, maybe you are feeling more joyful because you do this busy work and spend more time on things that is really not move you forward towards the goals that you want to achieve. In short term, you feel good, but the second consequences of it, you might feel more overwhelmed due to the fact that you have lost so many time, and now you have a limited time to produce the task that needs more of your attention, which are the 2 top part of the tasks that we have identified before. Think about what are the consequences of you attending to this kind of task. Okay, so my insights to action for this week. Remember to work smart, not hard. Do what's most rewarding first. And of course, after you have identified what your purposeful work, what you do best, what you do that can impact most to others, what you can serve people, these must be rewarding to you too. And if you focus on starting in this area first, you will end up being more energized, be more joyful, and more positive towards resolving, towards getting other parts of your work done too, inshallah. But think about if you start your work doing things that exhaust you, if you do unnecessary work, and things that disturbs you from achieving the goal, the direction that you're heading, you will end up exhausted without achieving your desired results if you focus on the hard work, but it's not in the area that creates your momentum towards your goal. Remember to choose 3 most important tasks in your day, and of course, these 3 most important tasks must be from the 2 top quadrants of your productivity tasks. Make plans that you can feel positive about the outcome, goal versus the process. Instead of focusing on what's the outcome, think about what are the process that you can do that moves you towards your goal. For example, for me, I put my work out there and I'm waiting for people to book a discovery call with me. And if you haven't already, click the link below to book a discovery call with me. Okay, what I'm saying is that the outcome, whether or not the person that is listening to this podcast, which is you guys, will finally book an appointment with me, I cannot control that outcome. This is just an honest example in my life. I cannot control whether a person would book that call with me or not. However, I can improve the process. I can improve whatever things that I'm doing that will move the needle forward. Meaning that what are the things that is in my control? What are the actions that I can take that will, inshallah, someday help me bridge the connection from a person who are strangers. Maybe you are first time listening to this podcast, and now hearing me talking like this, you start to, okay, listen to me. She sounds okay. So maybe you start to trust me or not. I don't know. But anyway, bridging the gap between being a stranger to now starting to listen to me and hoping that you are trusting me enough and someday will book the discovery call. So what I'm saying here today is that instead of you look at the outcome, you make plans for the outcome to happen and feeling demotivated whether or not certain things would happen or not. Instead of making plans that way, make plans so that you can feel more positive about. For me, I am positive that I am putting my plans and making time to record this podcast and improve the things that I'm giving away for free to you guys, and making sure that whatever I'm giving, it is of value so that you don't waste your time and listening to me talking about things that doesn't make sense to you. Your action plan this week, okay? Think about which 3 tasks in your work that you enjoy the most. Which 3 tasks in your work that can fit into this purposeful task in the quadrant that we discussed just now. And what can you do to shift your feeling so that you can be more positive about your plans for the coming week? DM me on Instagram at alia.majid or email me at hello@draliamajid.com and share with me the insights that you figured out from listening to this podcast today. Remember to start your day with intention, love what you do, and end your day with gratitude. I see you next week. Assalamualaikum.
Are you struggling to find time for yourself or for things that matters to you? Or if you even ever find some time, you found that you can't simply slow down and stop thinking about work. If you are one of those women, you'll benefit from the Success Accelerator program, my 12 weeks one-on-one success and productivity coaching program that helps you to do less and get more work done so that you can spend more time doing things you love. Book a free call with me at draliamajid.com/coaching, or you can do a self-assessment using my free life audit workbook at draliamajid.com/life audit. Or you can even join my Facebook group from the link below. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.